Are you struggling to study after school because you are getting home tired and you just want to take a power nap or even a longer nap when you get home? Well, you are not alone. I can't even count how many times I've just gotten home and tried to study, but I just go and sleep instead. And that's a common problem I've seen through my Instagram DMs, my TikTok DMs, and also on the comments here on YouTube. And I know this drives so much productivity just to the trash, and it doesn't help you get better grades or become more productive in the end. So how do you actually fix this? Well, I did some research a few years ago, and I actually came up with a few solutions on how you can actually prevent being tired after school. And after I implemented these steps, I went from a 1.7 GPA to a 4.0 GPA. Of course, it was not everything, but it was a big stepping stone in my progress. And I think it can be the same for you as well. So I will start this video by doing some techniques and saying how you implement them. And then I will go into the mental aspect of it all, because it all boils down to motivation and discipline as well. If you just optimize your environment and your mindset, you will study after school and you will not feel as tired as you did before. So let's start with the awesome techniques that I use all the time. Firstly is the 5-3-1 method. And you're probably wondering, what's this? Is this another like completely made up techniques that's like the 3-2-1 method? It's the 5-second rule, 80-20 rule. There are so many techniques and rules that contain numbers, and I know it can feel overwhelming, but this is such an easy technique. So at the start of each study session, you start with 5 minutes of doing something simple. This can be reading through a part of the book that you already understand and know of, or it can be just scribbling through research papers without maybe understanding them, because this will warm up your brain, but it will not overwhelm it. Next up, you spend 3 minutes setting achievable and smart goals. This is often goals that you have during this study session, but it can also be goals that you have in the long-term future. It's up to you to decide, because these goals will give you some motivation, but also some incentive to actually continue studying and not just hit the bed. And finally, the one in the 5-3-1 is a 1 minute of mindful breathing. Just close your eyes, take some deep breaths, and visualize where you want to be with this study session and how you want it to be. Because this seems like such a small thing that it won't make any difference, but this 1 minute of actual clarity will give you so much more focus than fatigue. Now let's talk about technique number 2, reverse timing. Reverse timing is not even a technique, I would say. It's so simple. You just shift it around. So instead of saying I will start studying at 7 p.m., you say I will end my studies at 9 p.m. Because putting an end to your study sessions creates so much urgency and will to make them complete. If you just say I will start at that time, I will start at that time, you will just continue procrastinating and pushing it up, and then you will say at the end of the day, oh, I will just do it tomorrow. Well, we both know you won't. And it's not just about having that urgency and deadline, it's about mentally preparing yourself for set specific hours or minutes of intense focus. And this starts something in your brain, and I don't know why, but it's so effective. And it also helps with pacing your work. You can know exactly when you are done, so you can start planning the rest of your day. Now, these are the only 2 techniques that you really need, and if you implement these, I promise you that you will see results. There's no other outcome. Now let's go on how to optimize both your mindset but also your environment to become more energized and less tired after school. So let's talk about the snacks you eat while you study. Now I see a lot of people doing carb heavy food when they try to study, but that's not a good thing to do. But of course you need to eat, because eating makes studying more fun, and I think we all can agree on that. So I would opt in for more nuts or fruits that gives you energy, but not that sugar crash that maybe chocolate or candy can do. And I would not recommend that you eat food before you actually study, because what happens is that your food takes time to process by your stomach, and your stomach drives down the blood flow from your brain to your stomach, which can cause some energy slumps. Now let's talk about sleep. I know some of you may think that this is crazy, but it's a scientific fact that if you sleep instead of taking power naps, you actually get more energized and you get a better memory retention. Now sleeping, even though it can make you feel a bit groggy, actually actually enhances memory retention and enhances learning. I would recommend doing a long sleep cycle of 90 minutes instead of a 25 to 30 minute one. Of course, there are problems when it gets to waking up after that sleep. I would recommend getting a good manual alarm clock that you put beside your bed and you throw your phone in another room, which means you will have to wake up and turn off the bell. And if you don't, I don't have any other techniques, because I feel myself that sleeping makes me more alert and my cognitive functions is strengthened by it, which is good when you need to handle complex tasks like maths, which I do a lot, or if you have chemistry, biology, or coding. It can be anything that requires your brain work. And now let's go into a mental part of it. You need to be nice to yourself. Always practice self-compassion. Recognize that feeling tired is human and there's no way to magically escape it. It will take time to actually build habits that make you study after school, and it won't come easy. So please be nice to yourself. Celebrate your small victories and remember that progress is progress, no matter how you see it. And armed with these strategies, these 2 new techniques and a new mindset, you will be ready to conquer those tired days. Now, for more tips, daily motivation, and study with me content, check out my channel or check out my Instagram or TikTok. My name is Study Tips on all of them, and also known as Eric. A huge thanks for your support, guys, for our new platform called Study Stellar. We are already at 1,000 members and it's continuing to grow, and I'm so thankful for you guys. So keep pushing forward, and I will see you in the next one.